Now today I will take the new chapter, matter waves. It is one of the most important chapter from which the questions are to be asked in the competitive exams. So let us discuss about the matter waves. Matter waves are the central part of quantum physics. Quantum theory of physics. In 1905, Albert Einstein said that light beam, when interacts with matter, it behaves as if it is made up of particles called photon, and this photon exhibits the wave particle duality. The photon exhibits wave particle duality of light. It means that the photon or the particle that behaves just like as a wave, just like as a particle, then we can say that this is the two sides of a single entity. Or we can say that suppose we have the coin, then coin has the head and tail, so they exist simultaneously. In 1924, de Broglie gave an hypothesis in his PhD thesis. De Broglie put an hypothesis. Hypothesis in his PhD thesis that wave is associated with each and every particle moving matter particle and the wavelength is inversely proportional to the momentum of the particle. So wave is always associated with the moving particle. So whatever the particle is there, whether this is the neutral particle or the charged particle, when it is moving, then wave is associated with this one. And the wavelength is the characteristic of the wavelength of this wave. So it must have some relation. So this wavelength is inversely proportional to the momentum of the particle. And these waves are called the matter waves. These waves are called matter waves. So what we have, that the wavelength lambda is proportional to 1 upon p. P is the momentum. So lambda equal to h upon p, where h is Planck's constant. Where h equal to Planck's constant, p equal to momentum of particle. So this p is equal to mv, m the mass of the electron, and this mass of the particle, and v the velocity of the particle. So we can have, or this lambda equal to h upon m. So now we can have the different graphs. That suppose this is, now we take lambda, this is now lambda, and this is now p on this side. Then we get the curve like this. So this shows that this lambda is proportional to 1 upon p, or if we have this lambda and this is what that we take 1 upon p, then we will get a straight line. This is not 0. So this shows that this lambda is proportional to 1 upon p. So now as we know that this momentum can be expressed in terms of the kinetic energy. The matter waves are also called the de Broglie waves and probability waves. Probability waves. And the matter waves are never a single wave. The matter wave is never a single wave. This I will discuss later on, that this is not the single wave, but this is the group of the waves whose velocity and the phase are slightly different, and they are so chosen that these waves make the wave packet. So that I will tell you in the next video. So now we can have only this, that matter wave is not a single wave, but it is in the form of the group. And probability name is given because this is based on the quantum theory of physics, and quantum theory is based on the probabilistic calculation. So these waves are called the probability waves. The kinetic energy. E equal to half mv square, and as we know that this P equal to mv, so we can write this E equal to P square upon 2m, or P equal to square root of 2mv. So now we can have one more relation for this lambda. So this lambda therefore wavelength lambda is equal to h upon square root of 2me, square root of 2me. This is like this. So keeping this formula in mind, we can draw the graph between lambda, m and e. So from this formula, this lambda is taken on this side. This is not lambda, and this we take square root of m or square root of e. Either we take this square root of m or square root of e, then this is like this one. This shows that this variation. So it shows that this lambda is proportional to 1 upon square root of m, or lambda proportional to 1 upon square root of e. If we take the square root of m, then this is not relation. If we take the square root of e, then this is not so much relation. And now we can have the formula for this, because generally these graphs are shown. This is now energy E, this is now lambda P. Then these curves are like this. Very steeping curve. So this is now your lambda square is proportional to 1 upon e. This shows like this nature. So if we draw a graph between lambda and a, then this is high parabolic. This is now parabolic, and in this case, this is now high parabolic. And similarly, if we want to draw this in terms of m, then we can have this is suppose 0 on this side. We have lambda. This is now m. Then we can have this graph. So this lambda square is proportional to 1 upon m. So this is what the relation. When we are going through this, then we can have this one. Now suppose we are given the change in momentum, then what will be the change in the wavelength? That we have to know it. So change in wavelength. Change in wavelength. Now as we know that this lambda equal to h upon p. So this delta lambda, let this lambda 1 equal to h upon p1 and lambda 2 equal to h upon p2. H the Planck constant, which is the universal constant. So we can also change the momentum. That's p1 to p2. Now we have to find the delta lambda. Delta lambda equal to lambda 2 minus lambda 1. If you go through this one, then we can have this p into this is h into 1 upon p2 minus 1 upon p1. So this is equal to h into p1 minus p2 upon p1 p2. So now we can have this equal to delta lambda, and this we write down this h upon p1. Then this is now equal to p1 minus p2 upon p2. So what we have, this delta lambda equal to lambda 1 into p1 minus p2. This is the change in wavelength or change in momentum. p1 minus p2 upon p2. So this delta lambda upon lambda 1 is equal to p1 minus p2 upon p2. This is not so much. If you want to calculate the percentage change, then we can have percentage. Because generally in the exams this is asked that what will be the percentage change or what will be the change in the wavelength related to the first wavelength, then we have to apply this formula. Because momentum is given, suppose momentum is doubled, this is not tripled, this is not 4. So whatever this is made, then we have to find that what will be the value of this one. Lambda 2 minus lambda 1, 1 upon p2 minus 1 upon p1, p1 minus p2, p1 minus p2, p1 minus p2. Now then we can have this delta lambda upon lambda 1 into 100%. This is equal to your p1 minus p2 upon p2 into 100. This is not so much. Then we can have the percentage change. For example, let this p1 is equal to p and P2 is equal to 2P. मोमेंटम को डबल कर देते हैं इसके अंदर, तो ये क्या हो जाएगा, देन डेल्टा लैम्डा अपॉन लैम्डा इज इक्वल टू, दिस इज नाउ योर P के स्थान पर यहाँ P, दिस इज नाउ योर 2P अपॉन, दिस इज नाउ योर 2P into 100. So this is equal to now minus P upon P into 100. This is not so much. So this is equal to minus 50%. 50%. Minus sign shows that as the momentum increases, the wavelength decreases. Minus sign showing the decreasing wavelength. Negative sign. Shows the decrease in wavelength. This is what the meaning of this minus sign. So this I have given the formula, this change in wavelength in terms of this the momentum, and now if we are given the energy, then we can write down to this one. Now in case of energy, wavelength lambda equal to h upon square root of 2me. Then we have to find this lambda 1 equal to h upon square root of 2me1, and lambda 2 equal to h upon this is now square root of 2me2 like this. And now if we take the delta lambda change, delta lambda is equal to lambda 2 minus lambda 1, final minus initial. So this, if we have this h upon square root of 2m into 1 upon square root of e2 minus 1 upon square root of e1, so we can have this h upon square root of 2m into square root of e1 minus square root of e2 upon square root of e1 e2. So now we can have the formula. तो यहाँ से क्या आ जाएगा ना, दिस डेल्टा लैम्डा इक्वल टू, नाउ दिस इज इक्वल टू लैम्डा 1 इंटू स्क्वायर रूट ऑफ e1 माइनस स्क्वायर रूट ऑफ e2 अपॉन स्क्वायर रूट ऑफ e2, so much. So this is now delta lambda upon lambda 1 equal to square root of e1 minus square root of e2 upon square root of e2. This is not so much. So if we are given the this energy change, then we can calculate the change in wavelength. And now if we know the percentage of this one, then this delta lambda upon lambda 1 is equal to square root of e1 minus square root of e2 upon square root of e2 into 100. 100 से इसको मल्टीप्लाई करें तो परसेंटेज चेंज आ जाएगा. Now this will be so much. Now let's, for example, I give the example that E1 is equal to E. and E2 equal to 4E. Suppose energy is needed 4 times of the initial value. So then we can have this delta lambda upon lambda is equal to, this is now your square root of E, this is minus square root of 4E upon square root of 4E. So what will be there? This is now multiplied by 100. So much. And now we can have this is now your 2, so this is now 1 and 1 upon 2. So this delta lambda upon lambda is equal to minus 1 upon 2 into 100. So this is equal to minus 50%. It means that wavelength will decrease by 50%. So this is minus sign showing that this will decrease. Minus sign shows that wavelength decreases. Lambda decreases with increase in kinetic. जैसे kinetic एनर्जी को बढ़ाते हैं तो इसका मान घटता है इसके से. So this shows the matter waves. So this I have shown you the graph between lambda and P, lambda and the M, and that of this V, the mass and velocity, and also in terms of the kinetic energy of the particle. So this is what the formula that are to be used, and now this is the idea or that the hypothesis put by the de Broglie, and for this de Broglie was given the Nobel Prize for Physics in 1929. Matter waves. De Broglie got Nobel Prize in 1929. So you all like, share and subscribe the video. Thank you very much.